Story trailer, full breakdown, God of War, state of play. Drop a thumbs up. When this trailer came, man, I'm hyped for this game, bro. I'm lubed up for this game. 1, if you're hyped. 2, if you're not hyped, let me know.
Hey, how's it going, guys? KaptainKuba here, and welcome to another God of War video. Today is a very special day because we finally got a God of War Ragnarok story trailer, and it only took a year. So as I'm sure you all guessed it, I am back with another trailer
only a year?
Bruh. Breakdown video. Now, if you notice that I don't talk about certain moments in the trailer, it's either because I don't think they're that important, or I think it's best to save them for the conversation I'll be having with my members tomorrow. So if you want to discuss your God of War findings with me, make sure to do it as possible. And hit that subscribe button as well.
Oh, let's say
Everyone
no.
keeps secrets.
The trailer begins with Atreus magically interacting with a tree near their home. If I were to guess, it seems like he's revealing information of some kind left by Faye. This is something we saw in Jotunheim back in God of War 2018. When Atreus touches one of the
y'all think that Kratos gonna die, or you think unexpected will happen?
There, it reveals a mural underneath. And when I first played the game, I thought that touching this specific part of the wall was the cause behind the mural appearing. But after seeing this trailer, maybe this is one of Atreus' powers manifesting from a very young age.
I think this is gonna be in the beginning of the game.
I think touching walls will be a gameplay mechanic, but I do think this is something we'll see Atreus do a lot in the game. Anyway, Atreus also says that everybody keeps secrets. Sometimes it's the only way to protect the ones we love. This is really interesting because I believe Atreus has officially learned a bad lesson from both of his parents. At the end of God of War 2018, Atreus learns that his mother
toxic parents
wasn't a mortal woman. She was a giant all along. And to her people, she referred to Atreus as Loki, something that came to him as a surprise. And of course, throughout the story of the first game, Kratos is constantly hiding things from Atreus, the big one being his godhood. And although Kratos became a more open father by the end of the story, he didn't...
Yo, this moment was so kind of meme and also really like emotional as well. It's like, okay, I am free. I will tell you everything. Yeah, I love this game, man.
Fully open up about his past and some of the things that happen in the story. So what exactly is the secret Atreus is keeping from his father? This is obviously hard to tell, but I think it's either him getting a glimpse of the future, a power that giants have, or pretending to be on Odin's side. But more on that later.
Sometimes it's the only way to protect the ones we love.
In this next shot, we see Kratos letting go of his weapons in a room located in Svartalfheim. The reason I say this is Svartalfheim is because of the window in the background. If you watch the first trailer again, you might even see this room in the background. But why is Kratos letting go of his weapons here and not in his home in Midgard? Well, I personally think that his home in Midgard has been destroyed by Thor. And this has left Kratos and Atreus looking for a new base of operations.
I think we're gonna have the Thor boss fight in the first... because apparently I'm hearing that the trailer, they dropped this trailer. This is apparently for the first 5 hours. So whatever you saw in this, it's the first 5 hours of the game, which is kind of crazy. Yo, Trevor, thank you for becoming a stud. Love you. Just refresh the stream, it should be good. Yo, thank you for becoming a member. Yeah, it's gonna be the first 5 hours of the game, which is actually crazy when you think about it. So the Thor boss fight, and I think, okay, allegedly, Kratos is gonna win, but I think he will be shaken up, and there will be a massive plot twist for sure.
And of course, we're gonna go to Svartalfheim, the place where Brock and Sindri live. It's also important to note that Kratos seems very defeated in this scene. I'm going to predict right now that this takes place after he kills Tyr. There's no proof for this at the moment, but I just really think it's going to happen.
Oh, it's gonna happen? Damn.
I know you.
And now we cut to Tyr himself. This was an extended...
Why did Kratos become a barber, chat? Like, damn, he became a barber.
I know you.
And now we cut to Tyr himself. This was an extended look from the cutscene we saw in the first trailer. And now we see Kratos releasing him by using the Blades of Chaos to essentially melt the magical rope around his neck. Kratos is most likely using the Blade's power, but part of me hopes that Kratos and Atreus obtain this firepower with the help of Surtur himself. Something similar to Thera's power from Ghost of Sparta. Tyr also seems to know everything about Kratos' past, as he calls him the God Killer. Of course, he could be referring to Magni and Baldur's death, but we also know that Tyr visited Greece before, so him knowing Kratos' reputation is not that crazy to believe. In this cutscene, we also get a glimpse of Kratos' new Bifrost,
hand reveal, boys.
Possibly created by Brock and Sindri. From lore and legends, we learned that Odin has blocked access to all the realms, so maybe this new Bifrost will be able to bypass Odin's magic. I also believe
Yo, I am actually hyped for the new dimensions that we're gonna see. I'm really hyped for the new, like, realities that we're gonna see. There's, like, massive theories going around that it's gonna have time travel. I know it's not gonna be for everybody, but thoughts on time travel? W if you wanna see it, L if you don't wanna see that.
The old Bifrost was destroyed during the first fight with Thor, but more on that later.
God Killer.
And Barber, don't forget.
What is it you want from me?
L, W?
Is it a god of war we came to find?
Here we see Kratos killing a light elf by breaking their source of light on their back, something I think it's really cool. Also, in the background we see Tyr kneeling by someone's corpse. It's impossible to tell who this is, but we know Tyr has been in prison for a very long time. So most likely this is someone he knew from his past and is now dead thanks to the conflict between the light and dark elves.
Yo, are we gonna have any baddies? Can we do like Easter eggs with the baddies in this game, like how we used to do in God of War 1, 2, 3, and all of the older God of War games, know me? But I know he got a kid, Chad, come on, I know he got a kid, but...
Do you, Kratos?
And of course, now we have to talk about the All-Father himself, Odin. In the trailer, you can only see his silhouette, and I believe this was done on purpose to mirror this scene from God of War 2018.
Yo, the similarities.
It's possible that during this cutscene, Kratos won't even be home, meaning that Odin came to Atreus posing as a father figure or as someone who cares
Yo, he got a small head.
Bruh.
He got a small head.
about him. This is something that Eric Williams kinda hinted at in an interview with IGN back when the first trailer was shown. And like I said back then, this has given me the feeling that Atreus will have a moment similar to Kratos' oath to Ares. After all, in Norse mythology, both Odin and Loki have a blood oath or a pact with each other. This visit might even be the secret Atreus is keeping from his father. Later in the trailer, we hear Odin questioning Kratos about what it means to be a god, once again challenging everything Kratos taught Atreus as a father in the story of the first game.
Yo, Blackwoods, what's good? I see you, man. How you doing? How's the wife and children?
I predict that throughout the story of the game, both Kratos and Odin will be fighting over control of Atreus. Meanwhile, Atreus is gonna surprise everyone when he reveals his own plans at the end of the game.
Yo, where are my Indian homies? Where are my Pakistani homies at though? Like, dude, that's so messed up. Yo, if Atreus becomes या पैंचो इसकी गांड में बम्बू मारना चाहिए क्रेटोस को यार. अगर मैं इसकी जगह होता ना तो यार मुझे इतने छित्तर पड़ने थे ना. ये इसको छित्तर पड़ने चाहिए. Like, listen, man, Atreus, y'all think Atreus gonna betray his own dad? Y'all think he's gonna try to betray, or maybe Kratos is gonna feel like he got betrayed, and then he's gonna do something really big and good that Kratos is gonna be like, that's my son, that's my son. Yeah, I don't know, man. Is he gonna make Kratos proud? W if yes, L if not.
That blood on your hands, on your son's hands.
It's gonna chittar padne chahiye.
I can't talk about it, but I just need you to trust me.
We follow your every whim.
But you don't believe in any of it.
And still, I follow.
Yo, looks like that they gave him like an estrogen copium or something like that. Like, he went like, what?
We follow your every whim.
But you don't believe in any of it.
And still, I follow.
You had never seen. I played all the God of War games. I
Bomboka!
played all of them. And I've never seen Kratos being this emotional and high on estrogen.
All that matters is that you are safe.
But that's not all that matters. Who's keeping you safe?
I do not need you to protect me.
Yo, Blackwoods, you into God of War or no? I know you're big in Assassin's Creed.
And here we see Kratos and Atreus fighting two corrupted Valkyries. Now, these are not the same ones we fought in God of War 2018. Those were freed by Kratos and Atreus, and they'll probably help them on their adventure. These two, however, seem to still be possessed by Odin's corruption magic, and they either serve him as his bodyguard, or guardians of this place here that many fans seem to think is Ginnungagap.
Yo, I got massive, like, Revelation Zombies vibes from this, and massive, like, Marvel vibes as well. Yo, I'm, like, insanely high for this, bro.
The void where the Norse world came from. Part of me wants to say that this is the entrance to the higher plane of existence, but I still think it's too early for Santa Monica to be addressing this place. So I'll have to agree and say that this is most likely Ginnungagap. Also, some fans have pointed out that this place can be seen in the cloth map for the Jotnar edition of the game. An interesting detail to keep in mind.
He needs to go to the moon?
Have me when it earns me.
Probably quote of the century. That can have me when it earns me. Probably quote of the century. I think this game is gonna make waves if it's done well, and I think it's probably gonna be. They're not gonna release it unpolished, let's be real. Like, it's God of War is way too big for that. I think this is gonna be game of the century for the fans who love it. If you're not into it, then obviously it's gonna do nothing for you, but I think it's gonna be big for people that love it. I'm like, listen, man, it's been a very long time I have been this hyped for a game. I feel like the last time I was really like mega hyped for a game was, I know it might be sad to some of you out there, but GTA 5, and then I would say like GTA 5, and then Black Ops 3. Yeah, I love Black Ops 3 Zombies for sure. And last game that I was insanely hyped for was Black Ops Cold War. And now looking back at it, yeah, it was a decent Call of Duty game, but at the time the campaign, the hype marketing was actually very strong for me. And right now I'm like insanely hyped for this game. I was really hyped for Cyberpunk, but got burned. I was hyped for Battlefield 2042. Got burned! I'm a defeated gamer, okay? I have accepted defeat. One in the chat if you have accepted defeat. I'm really hyped for God of War. I think this game is gonna be massive. There's no way they can fail with this game. Oh yeah, I'm super hyped for God of War, bro. This one seems to be having a lot of big characters. Yeah, yo, Jordan, what's good?
No, of God's work.
Here we see some new enemies that might be native to Vanaheim. I can't really say much about them other than that.
In your lifetimes, has anyone ever worshipped you? Ever prayed to you? Can you even imagine that kind of love? No! You don't care about anything beyond you.
Yo, I feel like the combos, man. The combos gonna be insane in this game.
So, beyond the monster who kills without cause.
Facts, Roland,
Here we see Kratos running away from Freya's vines while carrying this unknown character. And at first I thought that this was Angrboda, but she doesn't seem to be wearing the same clothes, and she's also carrying a sword sheath on her back. Something Angrboda didn't have in the first trailer. Based on the trees and vegetation in
Yo,
this...
people are actually mad. Not people, I should not say people. Very few. Some fans are actually... I wouldn't even call them fans, because there was one guy that was actually mad because she is black. Actually, somebody's really mad. I will link you that video. It was really funny. It was just it's way too funny for me to not link you that.
area, I think it's safe to say that this is Vanaheim. So maybe this is one of the Vanir twins we saw in the Jotnar edition of the game. At this time, it's impossible to make accurate guesses about who this character is. But what's important is that in the previous scene, we see Kratos in the same location without the character. Instead, he's covered in blood with a look of horror on his face. So maybe Freya got to this character before Kratos could save her.
Yo, the fact that my guy is back with swimming and Shiza. Yo, when was the last time we saw him swimming? I feel like that in God of War 1 he did. For some reason, I always think that he was swimming in God of War 2. Swimming mechanics, swimming fish AI. But damn, man, God of War 1, God of War 1. Did we had like any swimming gameplay in God of War 3? I'm not sure. I feel we had swimming gameplay in God of War 3, but was it underwater? I don't think it was underwater like God of War 1. And from what we learned, he can hold his breath because he did acquire that skill in the first God of War game. I'm not sure if they're gonna keep it like that in this God of War 2022 or is for maybe whatsoever reason whatsoever he cannot hold his breath underwater. That would be sad. I want to see him be holding his breath underwater for good because he did acquire the skill in God of War 1, right? God of War 2 had swimming. It was awesome. I don't remember. I gotta play that. I gotta replay it. It did?
And here we see something that just blew my mind. Atreus commanding Skoll to begin the chase of the sun, meaning that he's choosing to start Ragnarok. But what's odd about this is that Odin has supposedly already commanded the wolves to begin their chase.
When the sun and moon grew mutinous and stood still, Odin put Skoll and Hati to use. With his ancient magics, he cast the wolves to the heavens, and they began their chase. And long shall they chase, but not endlessly, for it is foretold that someday Skoll and Hati will catch and devour their prey. And that day shall be Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods.
This seems like a contradiction, but who knows? This could be Kratos and Atreus doing some time travel shenanigans.
Yo, W time travels in the chat. Yo, Nick, sorry, what's good? Spider, what's good? When I said I'm not really interested in God of War in Marlon chat, people started crying. Yo, I got some comments where people were saying my chat was being way too toxic. And I was like, guys, like, there were a lot of people that were dropping W's, and not everybody's gonna love God of War, and that's perfectly fine. It's okay to not like it. I'm a huge fan of God of War. I'm getting this game. I'm lubed up, but I totally understand that this game is not for everybody. And come on, chat. Like, come on, man. We all have likes and dislikes, and it's perfectly fine to hate on that game in a way where this is not made for you. But if you hate on the game for the sake of hating the game, I mean, that's different. But it's your right. You can do whatever you want, but it's completely fine to not like it. It's completely fine to not like something that other people like. It's completely fine to love something that other people hate. I love it. I think this game is gonna be a banger, but I got no problem with people saying that this looks like a DLC. God of DLC. God of DLC. Where my homies at? Where my homies at? Toxic gamers!
Here, Kratos seems to be going inside the light of Alfheim again. This is important because Cory Barlog has confirmed that part of Faye's soul is still there. So maybe Kratos is going into the light to ask for advice on their mission. it's important to note that Kratos has not told Atreus this fact. So the revelation of Faye being inside the light might be something Odin will use to put a strain on Kratos and Atreus' relationship.
Oh, true.
And here we see something I wasn't expecting from the God of War series, a freaking mermaid. I did some research about this creature, but I couldn't find a single Norse mythology mermaid. So most likely this is
Yo, Chad, don't make me look bad. You're making me look bad right now.
Aegir's wife Ran. In the mythology, it's never stated that she's a mermaid, but she is considered goddess of the sea. This is not a...
Ow, 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 ow. Dude, I swear to God, man, looking like a snake.
surprise since Aegir is one of the gods associated with the sea along with Njord. In Norse mythology, Aegir is one of the Aesir gods despite him being a Jotun, so I'm not sure which side of the fight his wife Ran might fall on. From this scene, it seems like she's not very threatening, so maybe she will be one of the allies Kratos and Atreus gather for the fight in Ragnarok. It's also important to say that Aegir and Ran have 9 daughters, so maybe this could be one of them. If that's the case,
9 daughters!
I wonder if they will serve a similar...
Yeah, this is that swimming gameplay I was talking about, bro, all the way back in 2005. Oh my god, I'm shaking. I'm shaking. I'm shaking. Where the homie Young had?
Oh my god.
The homie Young.
Oh my god.
The homie Young be.
Oh my.
Listen, man. God of War 1, I want to replay these games, but the PlayStation Premium sucks so balls. It's only streaming and you cannot play the older games like that. Damn, son. I know this is PS2, but I'm talking about PS3 games as well.
Like purpose to the naiads from God of War 1. I doubt it, but I think it would be a really nice callback for OG fans of the series.
Not because it is written.
It will be.
Now this is really interesting. This place just reminds me a lot of the branches of the World Tree used to fast travel in God of War 2018. However, some things are different. The ground seems to be frozen, and there also seems to be some kind of hair or feathers all over the place. If it's feathers, these could belong to the eagle that sits at the top of the World Tree. We know the squirrel Ratatorskr will be in the game, and in Norse mythology, Ratatorskr is responsible for taking messages from Nidhogg, who lives at the bottom of the World Tree, to the eagle that lives at the very top. So maybe we'll see both the eagle and Nidhogg in the game. But as cool as that might be, that's not really what I want to talk about. In this shot, Kratos and Atreus seem to be walking towards a tree covered with spirit ravens. And if I am right and this is in fact the top of the World Tree, we might be looking at the place where Odin hung himself to gain more knowledge.
Oh, damn.
Why do they call Odin the Lord of the Hang?
That refers to a modest example of Odin's thirst for knowledge. The time he spent 9 days a dead man. Hung himself by the neck from Yggdrasil's branches, put his spear through his own side and bled down into the Well of Destiny. He roamed the realms of the dead and plundered the World Tree of its secrets, until I think quite rightly it got fed up with him and sent him back to the land of the living.
So now we
Yo, any scientist, any astronaut in my chat, I wanna know, man. I'm actually genuinely excited for the Mimir. I'm excited for the Mimir conversation that we're gonna have, the new conversation that we're gonna have while we're playing this game. Because I genuinely enjoyed the second we acquired Mimir in God of War 2018, I felt like that the game got so much better with the story and lore, and it was just like someone else to hear in the game and someone else that Kratos and Atreus would talk to and gain knowledge. It was just really well done, you know. Talk about character development, talk about bringing a new character to improve the story. You know what I mean? One, if you agree, two, if you disagree.
We have to ask ourselves, why are Kratos and Atreus walking towards that tree? Is it possible Kratos will use his undying curse to gain more knowledge? Will we see Kratos hanging from the branches of the World Tree as well? After all, he did say this in the trailer.
Weird, I'm new here. What is this? We're watching God of War. It's a brand new game, but Call of Duty event is happening very soon, so you're in time.
That can have me when it loves me.
Let me know what you guys think about this theory, because it really has me excited. And here a giant jellyfish comes out of the depths of Alfheim. We know this is Alfheim because we can see the light of Alfheim in the background. Maybe releasing this water monster is how the Mermaid lady will help Kratos and Atreus in the Battle of Ragnarok. Some fans have also noticed that Atreus is not present during this moment, or at least he's off screen. And some
Yo, motherfuckers got like jellyfish.
Bomboka!
Yo, I'm hyped for this, bro. I'm
have
hyped.
taken this to mean that Atreus is the giant jellyfish, because as I'm sure you remember, he is Loki and he really likes the idea of shapeshifting into animals. I don't think this is the case, but it's a fun theory at least.
Yeah, Loki, right? Atreus, Loki. Yeah, real homie squad up. Oh
And
my
lastly,
god! Yo, when I first saw the trailer, surely I spotted Thor, but I did not spot the fact that he was throwing his axe towards the hammer, and both of them kind of like canceled each other out. Like, what?
Bruh.
Like, that's wild. And this is apparently going to happen in the first 5 hours of the game. And we're hearing it's going to be 40 hours long. I refuse to kind of believe that, but they're saying it's 40 hours. So is it like 40 hours main story? Is it 40 hours with the side story? What you think? Do you think, one, if you believe that this is going to be 40 hours long main story? Or you think, two, it's main story, side quest, full completion and all that. I would lean towards more like, hey, it's gonna be, I lean towards number 2, but I sure hope it's number 1. I sure hope it's like 40 hours main story. I want that, but I rather have like a shorter story game that's like impactful and meaningful. Surely not saying it should not go below 12 or 15 hours. That's gonna be said. I want at least 12 to 15 hours game, but is it gonna be 40 hours? I'm not sure. But click on this video on the screen. We got a massive plot twist. People are getting bumbleclad. Click on it and we'll see you right there. Subscribe, hit the bell.